Hi, everyone. Welcome to the SCORE podcast. My name is Daphne Liu, and I'll be your host for today. My pronouns are she, hers, and I'm currently a senior at Scripps College. So today I wanted to talk about silver linings. It comes from the idiom, every cloud has a silver lining. You can see in my background, it's just this blue sky with a bunch of clouds. At the edge of all of these clouds, you can see the sunlight peering through. That's supposed to be like the silver lining. And it's a metaphor basically for the idea that in every negative situation, you can always find a silver lining or a positive moment. So I thought that's very fitting given the circumstances that we're in this year, from being in quarantine because of coronavirus to more recently the presidential election. There's been a lot of stress, lots of uncertainty, lots of negative vibes, I guess. And I think it's important to think about like the little positive moments, highlighting like the silver linings of this year, just to encourage each other and to encourage us all to continue looking for silver linings in everything. So what I did was I sent out a survey to Scripps students, asking them for one sentence highlighting a specific silver lining moment during this year. I called them quarantine snapshots, and thankfully a lot of people submitted, so I'm really excited to read them to you all. People had the option to submit anonymously if they wanted to, and they could also sign it if they wanted to. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first one is, I got the opportunity to enjoy baking and cooking again. Yeah, I feel like I remember that one moment in the summer when everyone was saying how there was no more flour in the grocery stores because everyone was baking. Yeah, I love that as a silver lining. I think people have time to do things that they wouldn't have time to do. And seemingly a lot of people found time to bake and cook. For me personally, I think I found a hack. People probably have done it already, but I love curry and I was cooking curry. What I did was I would roast my eggplants before I put them into the curry. And it was, with the Japanese curry cubes, so good. Yeah, so definitely a silver lining. Thank you so much for sharing. The next one is I fell in love. Very short, very sweet, but very powerful. That's so great. I'm so happy that you were able to fall in love, and I'm sure it brought a lot of positivity to your life amidst everything that's going on. I also asked people if they wanted to share more about their quarantine snapshots, they could elaborate. So this person did elaborate on the sentence, and they said that we started talking in March, but the country I live in went through a lockdown, so we only met up in July. Once there are significantly less cases, and now COVID is pretty much gone from my home country. And we've been together since. He doesn't go to any of the 5 Cs, so he went back to campus. So we've been doing long distance, but he's coming home in December, which is exciting. Yeah, I love that for you. Thank you so much for sharing. It really must be like a joy to be able to find love in this situation. And I'm sure it's made everything a lot more positive, or at least some things more positive. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing. The next one is, it's the night of a full moon, and my brother and I sit outside on our patio eating mooncakes to celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival. Yeah, I love the picture that's painted there. I can just imagine like the evening breeze, being able to spend time with family, sharing food. As someone who celebrates Mid-Autumn Festival, I feel almost nostalgic for this moment that you've portrayed, even though I don't have a brother. I don't really go onto the patio, but I feel that sentiment of just, I don't know, for me it seems very like homely, very comforting. So thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so the next one is submitted by Ellen Hu from the class of 2024. So their sentence is, during one of our FaceTime calls, my new friends and I realized that almost all of us own squashmallow stuffed animals. And the one person who doesn't may or may not be getting one in the mail soon. And to elaborate, they said, as a first-year student, I was a little worried how I would make friends virtually, but I was very lucky in that I met 3 awesome people through my academic advisor. We hop on FaceTime calls every once in a while, and each time I end the call feeling more exhilarated than I did before. They make me even more excited for when we'll be able to get back on campus, but until then, they're making my shelter-in-place experience exciting. Wow. Honestly, kudos to all the first years out there. It must be a hard situation where you can't actually explore your new campus and make new friends in person. But I'm so glad that you were able to find a group of friends virtually. And it's so beautiful that you're able to connect with them even despite never seeing them in person, or I assume. But I love the moment you captured too, where you all find out that you have the same stuffed animals. And I see I can sense the love and care that's sewn into that, especially through the fact that it seems like it's hinting that someone has mailed the last person who doesn't have one of those stuffed animals one as a surprise. So I'm really happy. It's really I feel really happy reading that, and I'm really glad that you shared that, Ellen. So thank you so much. The next one is from Serena, class of 2021, and her sentence is, I got back into painting and painted a memory from each country I had visited during my semester abroad. Wow, that is amazing, first of all. I love that it almost feels like this silver lining is you highlighting the silver linings of your time abroad, perhaps, in a sense. And I really like that. That's such a great idea as well. I might steal it. I'm not a painter, but sounds like something. That would be a good just moment to spend time reminiscing about being abroad and all the countries you visited. So yeah, I love that as a silver lining. It definitely, I think painting also is very calming in a sense, lets people process and really think. And now that we have time to do it since we're all at home, definitely a good opportunity to just reflect. And sometimes, at least for me, I feel like I would think of how thankful I was for being in all those countries and being able to explore different cultures. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Serena. I will definitely have to do that sometime, maybe during winter break. So the next one is, despite the online format, I've been able to spend time with my family and friends across Zoom and FaceTime. I've loved playing Among Us with everyone. Yeah, I think there's something beautiful in the fact that we can still find community through the internet over online, and being able to connect and find silver linings in those moments where we're talking to each other, when we're laughing together, when we're playing Among Us together. I know there's always moments where it's very tense when everyone's calling each other out, but there's also many memories, I think, formulated through just those bonding experiences. And I would definitely say that that's a silver lining, despite the fact that we can only interact online. There's certain, what's the word? I guess there's a certain magic or something. It's different than interacting face to face. I definitely think you can find silver linings in what being online offers you, rather than just talking in person. So thank you so much for sharing. I definitely resonate with that. The next one is from Gloria Choi from the class of 2021. And she writes, I went downstairs one morning and my dog Apple was there waiting for me so that we could eat breakfast together. Wow, I love that as well. I love the picture you painted with this one. I can just imagine going down the stairs and feeling just happy and warm seeing my dog waiting to eat breakfast with me. I personally don't have a dog, but I'll live through your experience. And the extended memory of being able to spend time together eating breakfast is definitely a silver lining. And being able to start off your morning like that, I think is really, really wholesome, really awesome. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Gloria. And then the next one is, I've spent a lot more time with family since quarantining in my family home, and it's been very lively in our house. Yeah, same here. I'm back at home. Yeah, I've also been able to get to know my parents. I'm an only child. I've been able to get to know my parents a lot more, just talking to them, spending more time with them. I never thought that I'd be in this situation after leaving for college, but there's definitely been positive moments of just connecting with them now as a more mature person, I guess, and being able to, just build that connection because of quarantine. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And then this person wrote, I lost 10 pounds over the summer. Okay. First of all, congratulations. That's awesome. I think it's like we've all seen on the internet, everyone's joking about like the quarantine weight gain just because we're always right next to our kitchen and things like that. But yeah, I think similar for me, I've actually found more, I found that there's more time for me to really sit down and think about like how I want to live my life in terms of health. And like, for me, I was able to actually get my act together in some sense, really being more intentional about the food I put into my body, getting into a regular workout routine. And I feel like a lot of people have as well and have been able to lose weight in a positive way. And so I'm so happy for you. And I'm really thankful that you shared that. I think that's an experience that's definitely a silver lining. So thank you so much. Okay, and now is the last one. This was submitted without a name from the class of 2024. The sentence is, I've gotten to see a lot of my friends transform into truer versions of themselves as they've had the opportunity to explore interests and topics they didn't have the time for before. Yeah, I think that one is, it's first of all a great one to end. It's a great one to end on. I really also resonate with that. I think being able to see my friends just thriving in their own ways and hearing more about their lives when I call them and what types of things they're exploring with all the time that we have. It's been really awesome. And I love that you said transforming into truer versions of themselves. I think many people might share the sentiment of being able to really think and reflect on who they want to be. At least that's something that I experienced. Being able to just, sit down and think about what my true self is and how I really want to develop that self. And it's always a great time to hear how my friends are. It's really encouraging, and I was really happy for them. And I can see that you share that same sentiment. Thank you so much for sharing that. I definitely think that's a beautiful moment to capture. And honestly, like doing these things, like being able to hear about other people's silver linings, being able to talk to your friends and seeing them transform themselves and hearing about their silver linings, I think is something that we should all practice. I think it's really encouraging. It's been really encouraging for me to just read through all of these and hearing about the ways that people have found or have discovered positivity in their lives. I just encourage you all to also continue looking for the silver linings in your own lives and continue to have conversations about those positive moments, share those with each other to give each other encouragement. So that's pretty much all I have for this podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for all of you who submitted. For those of you who submitted your addresses for a small score gift, look out for those. We'll be sending those out soon as a token of appreciation. Thank you so much. This was such a great experience. I'm really glad I got to hear about how the Scripps student body is finding positivity in their own lives. And tune in next time. You can find us at Score Scripps on Instagram. Feel free to message, DM us any feedback you have, any topics you want to hear about. We'd love to incorporate them. So thank you again so much. I feel like I've said thank you so much. But really, I'm really grateful for this chance to just get to share these things with you all. So have a good rest of the week. We're almost there at the end of the semester, so keep on going. And remember to look for silver linings in your life. Thank you. Goodbye.